Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So USTC Repeg, what can we do as a community? And I think we've spent a year mostly being ever so polite to a lot of the exchanges, and it's always never really gotten the desired effect, if that makes sense. The way we've always got to where we've gotten to is actually by applying pressure. We did this to Binance in a manner that actually made them implement the burn tax and follow it through. Even after us getting a slap on the wrist, they're still burning those coins. So with this whole USTC thing, what it heavily relies on is CEX is getting on board, and I think this is always going to be the biggest hurdle with this USTC Repeg, because the people who have direct lines, and we'll be getting onto this shortly, they're not ones to really give those direct lines out. I know this for certain, and it also becomes a thing where we simply see other people take other people's ideas and want to make it their own. They can benefit from it because they have those direct lines. It all becomes very, very questionable. But I think a good thing for us to do right now is to get together some sort of hashtag system that we're going to utilize, and we all need to do the pressure but apply it politely. Do it in a manner that is very, very respectful, and try to make them understand that, hey, we're not asking you to just burn liquidity, we're asking you to implement this so you can get on board, we can get on board, you can make some money, we can make some money, and repeg USTC. What we don't want to have in our mind is, oh, well, we can just blacklist them, which we can. We can stop them from being involved with the USTC Repeg, meaning they can't utilize it. You know, it's a give-take relationship kind of thing. It's symbiotic. So I think the idea right now should be not to be like, well, we'll just blacklist them if they're not going to get on board. Let's follow the correct routes. Let's try apply pressure correctly. Let's get hashtags trending, USTC Repeg, and really move this forward and try and help Redline Drifter as much as we can throughout this process, but always do it politely. That's so important, because we all know what it's like when someone's, you know, shouting from the rafters and screaming and throwing a fit about not getting their way. It never really washes off very well in the community. So looking at this USTC incremental repeg, one of the things that was heavily mentioned in this was the ability to actually stake your USTC. A lot of work goes into this, and this is my situation I see at the moment. It becomes very questionable, right? Because it's so obvious that this has been mentioned so many times in podcasts, in the agoras. It's well known that Redline Drifter has a plan for USTC staking. All of a sudden, you'll see people, and it's horrible to have to see people doing this. This proposal aims to enable staking delegations on Terra Classic for USTC. And it's just like, come on, dude, really? Like, really? You know, you're an OG, you've been around from the beginning. Really? Really? And one of the things, like I was saying, it becomes questionable because these people have had direct lines to Binance previously. So for them to do this, they see something there where they can more or less slide in, grab a position, and it kind of sucks, because what should really happen is these people should be contacting Redline Drifter and simply going to him, you know, well, I've got a direct line, let's utilize that, here's a direct line, here's everything you need, you can get this, you can get your point across, and everything can sort of start to happen. Instead, you hit these walls with two people, and it simply comes down to a thing where someone will just take somebody else's ideas and possibly going to utilize that for themselves, for their own benefit, through that direct line. Edward Kim himself has a direct line to Binance. I'm sure these people need to pitch in here, because there's been a thing recently with the TGF, transparency for the TGF, and that is also something that's becoming highly questionable, with Ed following his AI chain and making all of these great promises about what he's going to do for projects, these grants they were going to give out, and they've just simply not done any of it. And, you know, as much as of a good person these people are, you need to, we're only as good as our word here in crypto. That's all we've got, is our word as humans, as one another, as people speaking to each other and giving each other that mutual respect. We only have our word, and if you're not good on your word, what are you really good for, right? So like I was saying, it all becomes very highly questionable. What we want to see is this symbiotic relationship where people are willing to go, well, you know, it's not my idea. I shouldn't really follow this route of acting like it is my idea, and I should probably pitch in and help out with the person who actually came up with that idea, because this is all tied into this USTC Repeg. And another thing that you see all the time at the moment is people coming forward with more USTC Repeg plans. It's like we're already following a plan. We don't have the ability to follow 500 routes of 500 different repegs baked at 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. We just don't have that ability. We don't have the funding. We don't have the liquidity. Everything now is like a long shot. We're doing all of this for it to pay off in the future. And I keep going over to the price chart. This is on daily at the moment. You can see that all of a sudden, this downtrend's possibly start, and a very, very, very small uptrend is beginning. And seeing this is actually really positive, because as you can see, it's just sort of like, whoa, downtrend, and now all of a sudden we're moving back up. Things are looking good. Looking at LUNC on the daily, and I know it's really it's really like zoomed in, we're really close in, but looking at that daily in an uptrend, this is all looking really good, because there's been times over the past few days where BTC's been making an impulse move downwards, and we've just sort of been chilling and possibly going upwards at times. So things are looking positive. We just need to get ourselves not in order, but more aligned with what's going on, being respectful of other people's ideas, respecting the agora and respecting governance, mostly that a USTC Repeg plan has been put forward. It has been approved via governance. Respect that. Respect the people around you. Be a man of your word. That's all we've got. Let me know what you folks think about this TGF thing. I know everybody loves Ed, but I think this is actually something that needs addressing sooner rather than later, because this whole TGF thing, this whole AI sidechain thing, it's all becoming highly questionable, like a lot of other things. And maybe this transparency thing isn't such a bad idea, but asking for it simply from Edward Kim himself about what's the plan, what's going on, who's supposed to be running this thing, who's guiding the ship, who's going to be sorting out grants in the future, because we need to stop forgetting about projects. But let me know what you folks think about all of that. Other than that, have a really nice Monday morning. Beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody pretending to be mean. None of this is financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only. And I'll catch you in the next one.